I know that a lot of our customers are wrestling with how do they address GDPR or CCPA compliance, and how do they keep data private within an organization, and particularly within a testing organization. I think this is going to be trite and obvious to say. The first thing to do is not work on production data. That is, you may want to replicate situations that occur in production, but if you do look at that data or source that data from production, you want to make extra sure that you are making it completely anonymous and something that you can't even track back to the original production, because you don't want any of that data to be identifiable. Arguably, the even better thing to do is to work with synthesized data that represents what happens in production. It has the same distributions, the same characteristics, but is entirely created. And you can do that at a basic level in Katalon itself, or using your own scripts to generate sort of synthetic data, generate random numbers, random identifiers, random amounts. Or you can work with one of our partners, Genrock or Synthesized or Curiosity, if your needs are more complicated. And that can be what hangs people up when they're trying to work with synthesized data, because there often are connections between one data, maybe the account data and the transaction data have some complicated interrelationships that need to be maintained. And in those cases, you may want to look to a package like any of those three or many others that are on the market. So I would say, first thing to do in keeping yourself safe is, if at all possible, and it's always possible, work entirely with synthetic data that has no connection to the real world. If you do need to, for some reason, reproduce real world data, maybe to recreate some sort of error that happens in production in your test environment, make sure that you are tracking the provenance of that data and that you are breaking any connection to that original identification. And then finally, something to consider that sort of gets out of the scope of your environment per se is making sure that all of your software and services suppliers are also complying with GDPR, CCPA, other privacy and security regimes. And you can do that by checking for their compliance on their website or talking to their security and privacy teams and seeing what certifications they have.